Ahoy, mateys! Are you ready to embark on your last journey with Captain Redbeard? Keep your arms and legs inside the boat at all times and try not to cry too much.
Happy Friday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. Of course, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by that guy right there. That's Erik Ruby. And the man of the hour behind the mat, Captain Redbeard. He's beeping and booping for the last time.
He needs to turn his camera on
PHNX Sun Devils. That's right. Some new intro music just for Captain Redbeard's final day. A lot to get into, but I imagine we are going to be talking a lot about Captain Redbeard during today's show. Captain, how are you feeling, man? Your last hoorah before you set sail and embark on a different journey.
I feel like we had a hell of a journey on this ship. We got a championship out of it. Got to witness some very fun basketball. And yeah, I'm hoping to leave you guys in great hands. And the captain is going on to a new ship.
Goodness.
Oh, man.
But I love this ship. I'll never forget it.
It was a great ship.
It was quite the ship, and it got a ship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did.
But, I figured that if we just don't end this show, like if we just
I'm
keep
not
going
doing
live,
24 hours
or
longer.
if we just like, hey Kyle, we need like 6,000 shorts.
Mhm.
We can extend this a little bit.
I already tried to tell him that I was just going to drown him in shorts today, and he said I'm just not going to do them.
I'll drown ye off the plank, matey.
Yeah, I think the entire show should just be.
Oh, Jake Fette. Ah.
I think I could get through maybe 3 minutes of it.
I don't know if you could.
Before I was just like totally done with it.
Oh,
it's a lot.
I disagree with your points, Totri.
It's a lot, man.
I think it's pretty good.
We got Ben in the chat, Zach, Sharon, guys. Everybody say goodbye to Captain throughout today's show. We are going to get into some Captain Redbeard, hot or not. We're going to be giving him topics at the tail end of today's show.
Oh, that wasn't the question?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
My bad.
We'll let Captain say his final goodbyes before we throw him overboard. But a lot to get into before we get to that, starting with the 2026 recruiting class for Kenny Dillingham and your Arizona State Sun Devils. Normally, when we're talking recruits and commits, this is not usually the time that we discuss the entirety of a class. Normally, we wait till we would get maybe a little bit further in the actual recruiting cycle, when maybe early signing period is just, right around the corner. But the reason we're going to be talking about that recruiting class today, the class of 2026 for Arizona State, is because it's on pace to be the highest, pretty much recruiting class that Arizona State has had dating back to 2010. Chris Cartman of 24/7 Sports, who obviously 24/7 is like a recruiting hub, right, tweeted this just the other day after Arizona State got Julian Hugo to commit, saying after adding its 10th commitment in the 2026 class, ASU's average prospect rating grade is 88.48, higher than any of the team's final class averages in the 24/7 Sports composite history, which goes back to 2010.
Not bad.
Slightly better than average.
Yeah, just a little bit. Are you surprised, though?
I'm not surprised. I think when Kenny was first hired, I was pretty firm that you would be evaluating this staff based off what they could do in year 3. So obviously they got ahead of schedule last year in terms of on the field success. We knew that these guys could always recruit. You could tell based off some of the players that they got in the transfer portal. You could tell based off of that first recruiting class, right, which we went over the other day, and how those guys have kind of fit into what this Arizona State roster is going to look like in 2025. So I wouldn't say that I'm surprised. I think I am more so just impressed at how fast this coaching staff has managed to turn on-field success into recruits.
I think that the quote from Julian Hugo that you saw when he committed, when he was saying there's the culture at Arizona State is unlike any I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's going to continue to carry weight for a very long time. As long as that culture remains the same, which by all means we expect it to for quite some time.
Yeah.
So that has to be why it's accelerated, not just on the field currently with the success of last year, but also now with looking at the future. But those things also go hand in hand. It is a lot easier to recruit for Arizona State when kids were seeing your logo in the college football playoffs, when they were seeing Cam Scadaboo highlights on their TikTok feed, every other scroll, when they saw Sam Levitt, and now they're seeing, oh, Sam Levitt, Heisman, oh, Jordan Tyson, maybe a Blitnikoff winner, oh, ASU, maybe back-to-back Big 12 champions. When you start to see that stuff, and even playing with them in the college football game, like, those types of things start to add up.
Yeah.
And then going into next year and the year after that, if a kid like an Israel Briggs finds success here, or in a couple years, if Jake Fette is starting and is Sam Levitt's heir apparent, right? You're like, okay, now as another high school recruit, I'm seeing people recruit to success there, not just kind of transfer to success, because when you look at some of ASU's best players, it's going to be, okay, Cam Scadaboo, transfer, like Sam Levitt, transfer, Jordan Tyson, transfer.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be, hey, commits during the Kenny Dillingham era, stepping up and taking those types of spots and becoming superstars. Then you start to follow that path if you are also looking to make your way in college football as a high schooler.
Yeah, and I think you can already kind of point to some of the guys at Arizona State that have started to do that, right? A Keith Abney, right? Cornerback number 1 for Arizona State. We had him on the show the day he committed. We had him and Montana Warren on the show, and Montana is likely to step up and be a starter on this defense as well. CJ Fite, another big name on this Arizona State defense, who is now kind of being tasked with being a leader on that front seven. He's a kid that was a part of that first recruiting class for Arizona State. So I'm interested to see years down the line, okay, what do the guys from year 2 do, right? What was Jason Brown Jr. look like? What's Jaden Fortier look like at a certain point? And now you get to year 3, and I was talking with Captain Redbeard earlier, just looking at this recruiting class and kind of putting the pieces together of what certain position groups could look like. I can't help but look at this tight end position.
Yeah, tight end U.
It might be at a certain point.
I mean, especially if Shaman and AJ and Kamari all have good seasons this season, especially if AJ steps up and he's filling a role. If Jaden Fortier finds his, we're already talking about all these different positions. And listen, you look at Israel Briggs, right? Like a 92 overall composite rating.
The highest rated recruit in this class of 2026 for ASU.
Highest rated recruit in the class, 6'4.5", 200, but top 6 at his position in the country, top 11 in the state of California, and the 69th nice overall prospect in the country.
Yeah.
Right? And as a tight end, when you see the success that a Shaman has and is all Big 12 first team, and then I think this upcoming season, you're going to see a lot more in that tight end room, considering that you're going to need some more pass catching with Cam Scadaboo gone, and Sam Levitt's going to sling the rock a little bit more than he did before. I don't get why tight ends wouldn't want to come here, because you drop down 3 more positions and you have Hayden Vercher, who's also a tight end, and 88 overall composite is top 30 at his position.
Also 6'4", 215.
Also 6'4", 215. Also from California and is top 60 in the state. That's like if you can continue to get 2 guys that have potential to be elite at any position year in and year out, that creates a consistency and a stability in your program in college football, where it's okay, maybe the tight ends transfer. Maybe we don't always have a tight end who starts for 2-3 years, right? Or even back-to-back years like Shaman is going to. But if you always have good tight ends coming into your system and you're developing good tight ends, then You're like, okay, we have an identity. We have something consistent. It's the same thing with Arizona State running backs. Might be a different running back, but if you always have a good and decent running back, like that provides consistency for a program.
Yeah, it does. And I think, again, there's going to be year over year players at Arizona State that kind of reimagine what it means to be that specific position at Arizona State. I think Cam Scadaboo, in a world where Arizona State running backs consistently go to the NFL, where they consistently impress, Cam Scadaboo last year reimagined what it means to be an Arizona State running back.
Absolutely.
I think looking specifically at this tight end position, I was talking with Captain Redbeard earlier. If you look at AJ, who's, again, a freshman, which still blows my mind. He's 6'6", 255 pounds as a freshman at Arizona State. Watching him play, and I do not mean this biasly, this kid is the best tight end that I have ever seen at Arizona State.
Just step in.
Just immediately, this kid is the type of player that you go look at and you're like, okay, this is a top 3 tight end, like in an upcoming NFL class when he ends up going. Right, this is the type
like
of tight
3 years
end
down the line
that you see at Georgia,
Yeah.
that you see at Nebraska, that you see at Notre Dame. Right, this is a kid, and going back and looking at the schools that offered him. He had offers from Texas. He had offers from Ole Miss. He had offers from Texas. He had offers from
You
Oregon.
Texas twice.
Well, there you go. He had offers
There
from
you go.
Texas. He had offers from USC.
Did he get
UCLA,
offered by the Longhorns?
He did, actually, yeah.
Okay.
From Notre Dame.
And from
all
Texas.
these other schools. Yes, and Texas.
Don't forget that.
And he chose Arizona State.
There you go.
Over all of those. And you can, when you're out there, you can see why he had those types of offers. It's not the type of player that you go out and you look at and you're like, okay, like, maybe he got the offers off of measurables. No, this kid already can block. This kid can go out there. He can catch passes. He can lower the shoulder. He is a threat in the red zone because he is 6'6". Like, he's not going to redshirt this year. I do not believe it. I would be absolutely mind boggled if this kid didn't play.
Especially with some of the tight ends coming in next season as well. You got to think like, hey, I want to establish my spot.
He's the best tight end that I have seen as a true freshman at Arizona State. I wasn't around covering Todd Heap when he was
best tight end of all time. Take that, Gronk.
But yeah, this is I'll rephrase it. The best freshman tight end that I have ever seen.
The best tight end you've seen at this stage. Right, like you haven't seen a tight end come in. Have you seen anybody at a position come in and you feel as confident as you already do with AJ? Because I remember watching the film with him, and I think we did a film study, or I cut the film for you for your film study when he committed, and I was like, holy crap!
He's quicker than you think he is. At 6'6", 250.
Good.
Yeah.
So have you, because I haven't heard you talk about a true freshman like this since I've been around, but obviously that's not forever.
I think the best other freshman that I have seen at Arizona State, I can't remember all the Notre Dame guys off the top of my head, but the best freshman that I have seen at Arizona State was N'Keal Harry.
That makes sense.
Immediately stepped in and did ridiculous things.
He's so good.
This kid, I think, again, for his position, is the best I've seen at Arizona State as a freshman.
And if he can just get playing time, that's a testament in his own right with how loaded this room is. And there's a comment earlier about trusting Jason Mons with the tight ends from William and from Diego, and this is in very large part like a result of when you talk about Kenny building a recruiting staff of the best high school coaches in Arizona football history.
Yeah.
This is the type of stuff that you get from that, because you get head coach level attention, championship level attention at a certain position. And kids can feel that when you come into their living room and you recruit, or when you break down your position. It's the same thing with Sean Aguano. It's the same thing with Charlie Regal, right? You look at these guys and you're like, okay, like, you have head coach experience. You have head coach potential. You have like head coach like ways about you.
Yeah.
But you're so dedicated to a singular position as somebody whose entire life is now hinging on, if I am successful at this position, why would I not want to go trust you?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's totally fair. And as long as some of these younger guys continue to make an impact in certain ways as younger players, I think that's only going to further, some of these younger kids wanting to commit to Arizona State off of rip. Again, getting guys that Arizona State wouldn't normally get based off of what I've seen in the past. And again, like you look at this 2026 class, we've already talked about Israel Briggs, what he brings as a tight end. Jake Fette, one of the higher rated quarterbacks in this class of 2026. He's a top 10 quarterback in this class nationally.
Top 20 player in Texas.
And Julian Hugo, who they got the other day, 6'4", 250-pound edge rusher out of Texas. You already brought up Hayden Vercher. You look at some of the guys in the offensive line. They added a ton of trench depth over the last couple of days. Cortavius Tisby, 6'5", 250-pound offensive tackle out of Texas. Marcus Uni, an interior offensive lineman, 6'4", 293 pounds. Then you look at another interior offensive lineman that they added either yesterday or the day before, in Nineveh Nicholson. And again, like Cooper Reed, wide receiver, 6'3", $180, like a bigger wide receiver. Jalen Williams, a 4-star. He was a 4-star, and then the moment he committed to Arizona State, they dropped him down to a 3-star, which ridiculous. Is really, really fun. You've got Zeth, the safety that they added. Like these guys are all like you can point to, and I'm like, okay, like where do they fit in? And still keeping in mind that this team has so many young players that from last year's class,
that still you haven't seen play, so you don't really know.
So, but it's just again like this is what great teams do, right? Is we talk about Georgia, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Oregon, those types of schools. Why are they so good year over year? It's because you can look into the two deep, 3 deep. And we've got guys that were 4-stars, like that were, first off, they're built like athletes, right? You look at this, and I don't see a guy that at a reasonable position is undersized outside of maybe the safety that you got locally from Liberty that's 5'11", even then committed to Arizona State for a reason. ASU went and got him for a reason. Like, other than that, I don't see an undersized player on this team or in this recruiting class. Maybe you can make an argument that Jake being at 6 foot is a little bit undersized. But again, all these kids you still expect them to grow, right?
Yeah, they're 17, 18 years old.
So, I mean, maybe I'm just kind of hurt from that experience because at 17, 18, I didn't. You know,
when did you stop growing?
I don't know. I stopped keeping track a long time ago.
I'm still growing.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah.
Good for you, buddy.
Thanks.
Yeah. Captain, you still growing?
I measure myself on my door every day.
It's loser energy.
Thank you.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, you think you're still growing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you
growing.
are. Yeah.
The beard's growing.
The beard's
always
growing. But yeah, it's something special that Kenny's got cooking. Diego in the chat saying, question, fellas, if Arroyo gets another head coaching job, who do you think will be elevated to OC? My bet is Mons. Do you want to answer that question on the other side of this break?
I don't want to answer that question at all. But yes. My Lord, it's so hot outside.
Calm down.
Oh my God, it's 100.
Yeah.
It's going to hit 100 degrees.
Spicy.
That's why if you have a patio, you need to extend the amount of time that you can spend out there because it is still such a beautiful state with all-pro shade concepts. Now, they can keep your patio up to 20 degrees cooler, and 20 degrees cooler in the shade in the summer is the difference between sometimes life or death, but also enjoying yourself and not. And that's why getting a customized, custom fit awning with hundreds of designs and colors to match whatever your pesky HOA needs you to match is the perfect fit for your outdoor patio. Of course, they can also replace and fix most old or outdated patio shades and motorized awnings. It's the most trusted local shade company, voted #1 by Ranking Arizona, over 1,000 5-star reviews and an A+ Better Business Bureau ranking for all pro shade concepts. They're licensed, bonded, and insured, so call 623-204-1476 or visit allproshadeconcepts.com right now to schedule your free estimate.
Do you know what Arizona State's record was at home last year?
Undefeated.
It was undefeated. My personal record at home, I was like maybe 3-3. And that's why I need to call our friends over at Empire today. Just like your favorite team needs a home field advantage, your home needs a home floor. And look, we've all been to those big box stores. You wander endless aisles and somehow you're hauling all the materials home, looking for an installer. And it just takes so much time, energy, money that realistically
ridiculous.
You don't want to invest, right? So when you call our friends over at Empire today, they are gonna take care of you because guess what? It's what they do. They're flooring experts. Bring the showroom right to your home. Schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. PHNX listeners can receive a $350 discount when using promo code PHNX. Yep, you heard that right. A $350 discount with code PHNX. Restrictions apply. Visit Empire today/PHNX for full details. Also, want to give a little shout out to our boy Patrick Brown because he is always putting in work on the daily with that PHNX daily newsletter. The biggest news in Arizona sports is in your inbox daily at 6 a.m. and it's completely free. Okay, go to gophnx.com/newsletter. Again, it is completely free. You're just going to get literal updates in your inbox every single morning at 6 a.m. You don't even need to go look for them. It's just going to be sent straight to you.
Yeah, recently he's done 6 spring practice storylines for ASU to watch. Also, they're in the Wildcats in there, so who really cares? But covers everything. Suns, Diamondbacks, Cardinals, hockey.
All of the things.
Everything that you could possibly imagine.
Hit the like button.
It's also free. What are you doing? Sign up.
Yeah.
Do it for us. Do it for Redbeard.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Do it for Redbeard, huh?
Do it for Redbeard.
Yeah.
By the way, I was thinking about getting like a fake red beard and like hanging it in our rafters like a jersey.
Hanging it somewhere?
Yeah, like we retire his number. No producer is allowed to have a red beard ever again. Like if we hire somebody with a red beard, one of the prerequisites is like, yo, we got to be like the old school Yankees. You got to shave that thing off.
You got to shave the beard.
And get out of here.
Yeah.
Stolen valor.
We're making the rule in honor of Captain.
I mean, I think we should. It's the least that we could do.
I mean, he's leaving us.
That is true. He is abandoning us.
Yeah. It's like.
You think it's our fault?
No.
It might be our fault.
I don't think it is.
It might be our fault.
Is it our fault, Captain?
It might be our fault.
It's a pretty nice beard.
Oh my
The beard
gosh.
cam.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop
Notice
a
how he
5-star
didn't
review.
answer.
I know. 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Do we want to get to Diego's question?
Yeah. Who's gonna get elevated? Me, because I'm gonna pass away if Marcus Arroyo takes.
No, I would be very upset if you got elevated.
Yeah. First of all, William with a good point saying, hopefully we don't have to worry about that for a couple of years, considering he just signed an extension.
Yep. He said the other day too, like when he was talking about it, he's like, "We are only going in a year two."
Yeah.
Like
he wants to be
the
here.
verbiage that he used felt confident that unless a head coaching job, like a prominent head coaching job, came open, that he would stay here.
And the assistant coaches are well taken care of. And, and Kenny has ensured that his staff is well taken care of.
But don't get me wrong, these at some point schools are going to come calling and they're going to want these guys as head coaches.
He's probably going to want to be a head coach.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he was
there's
asked
no
about it
room
the other
here.
day. He was asked about it, I think, on a separate podcast. He's like, that's kind of why we do it, right? Like you always want to be a head coach.
Sure.
And I think in due time, I think Marcus Arroyo will certainly be a head coach again in college football. It's
Dual
just,
head coach, co-head coach.
No. It's just a matter of time.
I'd probably say Mons. I like Hines a lot. I don't know as much about Hines's like play calling abilities, and maybe that's something that we can learn more of, and maybe he's fantastic at it. But we know that Mons has worn a lot of hats in the coaching realm, which is not something that Hines has been able to do. So I would probably go with Jason Mons. I wouldn't hate Sean Aguano.
Yeah,
either. I think Hines would be third. I think it'd be Mons, Aguano, Hines. No disrespect. I'd be fine with any of them, but if I had to pick.
I don't know.
Well, that's not an answer.
If I had to make a guess, I would say that it goes to Aguano.
That would make sense too.
But that is strictly if they are promoting from within. Again, this is a team that moved on from its OC and didn't promote from within when got somebody else. So not a guarantee that happens if Arroyo does leave when he leaves. But, it's something that I think Arizona State fans are okay not having an answer to for at least a couple of years, hopefully.
Yeah, let's cross that bridge when we get there. I did want to say another thing about the recruiting class that I know we're going to talk about maybe like what positions we'd like to see filled.
Yeah.
Before we get to like specifically like, I want to see another wide receiver or I want to see another defensive lineman. I'd like to see some more Arizona kids
Yeah.
Only one right now. You are recruiting the hell out of California. You're recruiting the hell out of Texas. Every other recruit besides Jalen Williams, who's out of Georgia, and Zeth Thuis out of Arizona are from Texas or California. And that's great. I have no problem with that. But I really do want to see some more local action here. And I mean, you have a top 10 player in the state.
And it's not like they're not trying.
No, I'm not saying they're not, but like I think if I had to choose over just a specific position, I would say I would like just some more Arizona local recruits to see some success stories in that right.
Yeah, and I think that's totally fair. Again, I think this is a team in Arizona State that's it's got its kind of recruiting pipeline. They want to get players from Texas. They want to get players from California, and obviously they want to get players locally. And they will, they'll dip into other realms. We've seen them go into Hawaii and recently in Georgia. Like they're not afraid to go out of some places. I know they want to get kids locally, right? Devin Fitzgerald, Larry Fitzgerald's son, was at practice, I believe, either at the start of this week or last week. He's a local kid.
Fingers crossed.
There is a couple other kids at Brophy. I don't know if you guys remember the name Vanderbosch, but he was I want to say a linebacker for the New England Patriots. He's got twin boys at Brophy that both play there as well. So there are a number of kids kind of in the valley that, hopefully when we get a little bit later on in the recruiting cycle, you start to see a little bit more of those Arizona kids trickle in.
I'm a little surprised. I'm not like mad or upset. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, after that season, and after you see the fervor that this team has ignited locally, you're like, okay, I would expect some more local interest, and maybe there's a big fish, right? They're just waiting for a big fish.
Yeah.
But I would like to see some more Arizona kids. But when it comes to like positional like needs that need to be filled, we've mentioned they have a couple interior offensive linemen. They have one offensive tackle, 2 tight ends, a quarterback, a wide receiver, an edge rusher, and a safety in a corner. So pretty decent spread all around. But is there a position that you're like, man, I really want? And is there maybe a player that would fill that?
I love offensive linemen. I think you can never have enough of them. And I think for Arizona State, you look at a couple of positions going into next year where maybe you're already kind of taken care of, right? I think at the wide receiver position, I think everybody wants to add a wide receiver every year, but you've already got one in the class. You are probably going to you usually add at least 1 to 2 every transfer cycle.
And you have a ton of pass-catching tight ends.
And you've got a ton of pass-catching tight ends. Jaron Hamilton has eligibility to come back next year. Malik McClain, I believe, has eligibility to come back next year. I think Jalen Moss could come back for maybe 1 year. I could be wrong on that.
Technically, Jordan Tyson could.
He could. I would
I'd
not
shocked.
Expect it. Noble Johnson can come back next year. Zechariah Sample, Derek Eusebio. Like there are a ton of players that can come back at wide receiver next year. So would it be great for them to go get Devin Fitzgerald? I would be elated if they did that.
Huge local win.
But if I had to pick one specific player that I would like to see Arizona State go get in the class of 2026, it's Colin Campbell. It is the number 1 available player in the state. The offensive tackle out of Gilbert, Arizona. He's 6'6", 270 pounds.
Great name.
He is an absolute behemoth. And right now he's a 3-star offensive tackle. Again, you look at the class 2026 for Arizona, like the state, not a ton of highly ranked kids. I'm seeing a lot of 3-stars, but there still is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the top 10 players in the state still yet to announce where they will be playing college football over the next couple of seasons.
Bees with a good point says with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Bees. Says Kenny's doing all of this off of NCAA sanctions.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
I feel like nobody cares about those. Like you see the success that he's had and the culture that he's built and the fact that those sanctions came from a long time ago and a different regime. I don't think people care. I'm sure they inhibit some of your ability to recruit because of those sanctions, but like nobody's holding that against Kenny.
No, absolutely not. Nobody is holding. No one has ever held that against Kenny or this coaching staff. There's no reason to. Will says interior defensive lineman. Yeah, I think defensive linemen and edge rushers are always a big get. I think for Arizona State, if I go back to what Kenny has said in the past, based off of NIL and transfer portal, it sounded like for Arizona State, consistently year over year, if there's one position that they are maybe going to lean more in transfer portal heavy year over year, is going to be defensive line. Just because think about the day and age of college football right now, right? Like you can go get a 4th-year defensive lineman in the portal.
You get a grown man.
Exactly, versus an 18-year-old coming up in the class of 2026, whatever. So that's something that I think you got to keep in mind as NIL and transfer portal kind of changes the landscape of college football. You're probably going to see Arizona State try and double or just dip more heavily into the transfer portal when it comes to defensive linemen than actual like recruiting. Edge rushers are a little bit different just because you can be 18 years old and still have a pretty quick twitch versus kind of the same thing. You can go get an edge rusher who played wherever. You don't really lose a ton of that. But when we're talking about interior defensive linemen, we're talking about, like you said, you're getting a grown man at a certain point. What about you? Is there a certain position that you're looking at? That's
I think interior defensive line, just because it's been kind of a talking point as a weak point for this team a little bit. I would always like to just see a pipeline there, even if they're not going to play initially, but you're going to keep and recruit and get people on your own strength. Interior defensive line. You're going to get people on your strength and conditioning program and whatnot. So if you get them young and you keep them around, when you look at year 2 and year 3, then that's great. I'm also a very big offensive line guy. I think that in order to really be a dominant school consistently, you always have to have good line on both sides.
100%.
And especially if you're going to try to, have the next Sam Levitt, right? Get the next Cam Scadaboo. It's a lot easier to sell those guys to come to your school when you say, look at all the beef that you have. But it's the same thing in college football now where it's, okay, well, I can go get Jamedo Bigbo, right, who is a grown man, instead of somebody out of high school.
Literally.
Right?
Literally.
And so I think with those big positions, it's like you want to see those guys, but more for the sense that you can like say, hey, we are going to build you up and eventually use you. But it's the skill position guys that you can probably convince to come in right away and play, whether it's like an Israel Briggs or the tight end who's going to be, catching passes, or if you are going to go for a wide receiver. I think another wide receiver would be fine, like a higher ranked wide receiver.
Yeah. If you're going to get one, it's got to be Devin.
Saw them lose Adrian Wilson, which was a pretty big loss. He was the highest recruit.
He's at Colorado
in the class.
now, right?
Yeah, he's at Colorado. So trying to replace with like a blue chip wide receiver is great, but it's so spread out that I'm not looking at anything and going like, eh. I like Glenn saying maybe a kicker.
Yeah.
Just to have.
Yeah. Kickers are always really nice to have. First off, tell me you wouldn't love to see Devin Fitzgerald, the son of Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
In maroon and gold with a Sparky on his helmet.
The NIL would go crazy for him here.
It would. It absolutely. He would be a local legend. 100%. Like I know there were a lot of people that really wanted Cooper Perry, right? He was obviously the number 1 player in the state. He was thinking about Arizona State, and then ultimately went to Oregon, where Arizona State's wide receiver coach ultimately ended up going. So you can maybe put 2 and 2 together on that front, why Arizona State was close with the Cooper Perry race. But Devin Fitzgerald, again, would be, you have the son of Larry Fitzgerald, who is a legend in Arizona, and now he's catching passes at Mountain America Stadium in maroon and gold. Like, you can't write a better story than that, right? No. At least locally.
Well, unless he gets drafted by the Cardinals,
I guess. Well, then that's phase 2. That's phase 2 of our 3-phase plan. Okay, phase 1 commits to Arizona State.
Okay,
phase 2 gets drafted by. Okay, well then we got to push some phases.
Then phase 3 get drafted by the Cardinals. Phase 4, Super Bowl champion.
And then phase 5, retire and become the wide receiver coach
at Arizona
State. Yeah. We've pretty much planned this kid's
Congrats, Devin.
Yeah. Hell of a career, dude. Great job, man. Great job. Absolutely love to see that. Max in the chat saying, don't break my heart, Kyle.
Sorry, Max.
Wait, what's happening? Why would
you didn't hear?
Why would Max wait, what's happening?
You don't
No,
You want to tell him, Captain?
What's going on? God, I'm gonna miss you.
Oh, great stuff. Great stuff. Yeah, Sharon saying just picture Larry Fitzgerald at games decked out in ASU gear.
Oh man,
We can dream, right? We're allowed to dream.
It's not
Dreaming's
that
free.
big of a dream.
Dreaming's free.
Yeah,
I want it to happen.
yeah,
He'll never catch passes from Sam Levitt, which kind of sucks.
yeah.
But we can dream. It's
Unless
all we
Larry
can-
Fitzgerald opens up the pocketbooks and says,
he
"Hey,
would
Sam.
have to go.
Hey Sam, would you like $10 million?
Yeah, realistically, how much
$10
money
million.
do you think it
Well,
would
because the
take?
thing is, when you get into the NFL, it starts your clock on your first payday earlier, and especially if Sam's going to be a top pick in the first round, you're going to get paid a good amount of
Yeah,
money,
he's getting
right?
probably about $20-something million right up front.
Right. So you'd have to do that. You'd have to match that, and then you'd also have to make
You
it
have to
worth,
match $20-something million.
You'd also have to make it worth, like, because you're starting the clock on signing your first contract,
Yeah,
right, or the first post-draft contract. So
as a quarterback.
which is like could be your biggest bag ever.
Yeah, generational wealth.
I mean, come on, dude. You could probably get generational wealth just from NIL at this point. Like, give me $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, what's it called?
Generational
Tennessee's quarterback, right?
Nico?
Tennessee's quarterback decided he didn't want to go to spring
wealth.
practice.
No spring
today,
ball for me, thank you. I'll take $10 million instead.
trying to get his
Could
deal
you
from
imagine?
$4 million.
If I was just like, hey man, I'm not showing up to ASU.
nah, Kenny would be like, see ya.
ASU. No, it's to the show. If I was like, hey, I'm not showing up to the show
Oh.
until I get like my multi-million-dollar deal.
Oh, if you're asking for millions of dollars, buddy, yeah.
Looks like I'm not coming
Yeah,
back.
it looks like you will never be back. My goodness. Diego saying Fett is going to go stupid. I'm very,
I'm gonna
very
call him
interested.
Fetty.
Is it Fetty or
I
Fett?
don't know. I want to call him Fetty.
Can we just call him Jake?
Fetty Wap?
No. Can we just call him Jake? Isn't Fetty Wap in jail?
I don't know, dude. I don't have tabs on Fetty Wap.
Let's just call him Jake, huh? Are you looking up if Fetty Wap's in jail? Pretty sure he's in jail.
Fetty Wap jail? Question mark. Rapper Fetty Wap sentenced to 6 years in prison for a large-scale drug trafficking scheme in 2023.
Yeah. I
For
thought
me,
so.
boy.
I thought so. He had some bangers, though. He had some bangers years and years ago.
1738.
I'm very interested to see what this quarterback competition looks like when Sam is gone.
Hey, what's up,
Because you have some young, talented players at that position.
you might have somebody who wants to transfer in.
Well, I think they'll add a transfer because you're going to lose a lot.
Jaden Rashada.
Stop it. You're losing Sam. You're losing, unless Sam has just a terrible year, which knock on wood, that won't happen. He's going to the league.
Or he really likes Arizona
You
State.
lose, doesn't matter. I don't care how much I love it here. If somebody was like, we're going to take you to network and you're going to make $20 million, I'm peacing out faster than Captain Redbeard did.
Maybe that's what Captain.
Love you.
Maybe
I'm
he's
out of eligibility.
maybe he's Captain. Maybe Captain's actually going Captain Corporate.
Captain Corporate?
Captain Corporate.
Got me.
There it is.
No, nobody loves sitting at a desk more than Captain
Redbeard. No,
Yeah.
literally between Jake, between Butter, Cam Dyer, like Navi, like there's so many. I think you'll add a guy because you're losing Jeff Sims too as your backup. Like there is going to be a full out quarterback competition next year.
Sure.
And it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh, good. We have 1 year of no quarterback competition, and then we're back.
welcome to college
I
football,
know,
man.
I know.
Vic in the chat saying Shamari Simmons is at the Cardinals? Question mark. Is he? Is he visiting? Potentially. We'll see. We'll see. Erik Rubis is
First things that pop up are our tweets about Shamari Simmons. So
Maybe I would check. I'm sure his Instagram is probably where it's at.
Sam's not an Instagram guy.
Will
Oh no!
seventh round
Oh
steal?
yuck! I look up Shamari Simmons Cardinals and I get a tweet from 2020
Ugh,
about them
Isaiah
drafting
Simmons.
Isaiah Simmons. Oh, when I used to cover the Cardinals, dude, I had to talk about that guy all the freaking
Gross.
time. It was gross. He sucked. Anyway,
Anything else on the class of 2026 before we
not
move on?
really. I'm excited to see what else comes of
Yeah.
that. If they get another big fish, I want to see some more local kids, but they have a good variety of positions. So I'm not sitting back saying you need to get this type of player.
Yeah.
So I'm just get the best talent possible.
Vic says he posted on his IG story. It makes sense.
Well, well, there you go.
Would love to
Breaking news.
love to see Shamari stay home as well. I think that
That'd
would
be
be
great.
a lot of fun.
Dog.
Absolute
Jonathan
dog.
Gannon would love him.
Look, we're gonna get into hot or not. Abor did some things that we will get into, and then we will say our lovely goodbyes to Captain Redbeard after this final break. Guys, I want to tell you about our friends over at Branded Bills. Look at this wall back here that we have. Just absolutely decked out with a bunch of Branded Bills gear. Look, they've got something for everybody, okay? Whether you need a snapback, a trucker, a fitted, a beanie, a tee, Branded Bills has you covered with performance, style, and affordability.
Oh, wow.
Right? If you're going on their website, if you're going on any website trying to look for a hat, you're probably spending what? $40, $45
An ungodly amount of
for
money.
a quality hat. You go to Branded Bills right now, go to their website. You can get an affordable hat that you can wear out to golf. You can wear it out to a date. You could wear it to the gym. You could wear it wherever you want to go. If you're looking for some gear to make your personal brand stand apart from the crowd, Branded Bills has you covered with the best custom headwear. Start your order and their dedicated team is going to help you create the exact custom apparel that you need. Head to brandedbills.com and use that code PHNX for 20% off your first order.
Some of us here are leaving their homes today. If you're planning on leaving your home and you want to sell your home, well, of course, you need to check out Carol Royse. More importantly, if you're trying to buy, because this market is volatile and you need to know exactly how much money you need. And if you're a young person like me, and you're like, I don't know if I have enough money to put down a down payment. I don't know if I qualify for the first-time home buyers loan. Carol Royse is going to sit down with you and she is going to tell you exactly what you need to do. And it's not going to be her trying to make a quick buck, get in and get out, and that's that. No. She wants to make sure that you are in your dream home and that you're not going broke either. Carol has an 18-month buyback guarantee where you can buy with peace of mind. If you don't love your home, she will buy it back. If you're ready to find your dream home, take the next step. Call Carol Royse at 480-776-5231 or visit Carol online at carolroyseteam.com and tell them PHNX sent you. That's carolroyseteam.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Still got Glenn here, Sharon, Diego. We got your pops.
Papa Rubes.
Pop Jeff.
Here to walk Redbeard off
Papa
the plank.
J. Papa J in the chat. He's going to walk him off the plank. Does that mean that he also has to walk the plank?
No.
He's just walking him off the plank.
Yeah.
Like holding his hand and walking him off?
Yeah, he's poking him with a stick.
Oh, no.
Jump. Jump.
Oh, my goodness. The last 18 minutes of this program are going to be
Let's get the serious stuff out of the way. Yeah, let's get to the really important news.
Goodness. Arizona Board of Regents, they do things in the
That's
Valley.
True.
And they approved Graham Rossini's contract extension. So base salary up to $950,000. I believe it's a 3-year extension.
Got the Captain Redbeard deal.
For Graham Rossini. Now making what Ray Anderson made last year in his
bump him up even more, man. Come on, give him one more grand,
$1 more dollar. I just wanted $1 more dollar more than what good old Ray is making.
Ray.
Yeah, and then
he's still teaching.
I don't know. I know he taught one class. Made it the most expensive teacher that the world has ever seen.
You didn't get that from ASU?
I did not. I got nothing close to what that was, actually. Arizona Board of Regents also approved Molly Miller's contract, so she is officially the head coach of the Arizona State women's basketball program.
There you go.
Some really,
good
really
news.
Yeah. Again, when the Arizona Board of Regents comes up, it is either really, really good news or really, really bad news.
They've been nice to us recently.
They have.
Kenny
thankfully.
extension.
Graham extension. Molly here.
Molly contract. Wonder when that Bobby extension is going to be going through.
You just keep waiting.
Hey, boy.
You just keep on waiting. We'll see what happens.
I'm glad that we're rewarding Graham Rossini for what's been an extremely successful first year. Multiple Big 12 championships.
Yeah.
Great hires all around, seemingly starting to not peak, but get higher as far as overall like fan support and fan buy-in. And I think that one of the main things you hear about having confidence in a guy like Graham Rossini leading this athletic department is that he truly gives an F, and he is a Sun Devil, and that he wants to win here. And that's why he works so well with a Kenny, with the Powers, right? And now with a Molly Miller, who is, as she has said, cut from the same cloth as those coaches who really, really want to be here and care. And Bobby really wants to be here and cares too. Like Bobby really, really, really cares about ASU.
Yeah, but
But well, that's a different podcast. But
We've done that podcast a lot of times.
And we're probably going to do it a lot more. Glenn says, Graham hit the ground running and deserves it for how quickly some of his hires in Big 12 championships have come. And you also, I'd have no fear in Graham Rossini
I have
leaving.
no fear. Graham Rossini is here.
Facts.
Yeah.
But you also want to make sure that person feels comfortable and wants to stay here and feels rewarded.
Yeah.
It's, hey, you've had success. We'll reward you.
Yeah.
Go have more success.
Molly Miller tweeted it out the other day. She quote retweeted the extension news or something like that and said, I'm going to start a hashtag Graham has a plan. Right? Like that's
more like Plan Rossini.
There you go. You think of that one all on your own?
Plaham Rossini.
Yeah.
Hot or not?
Got nothing after that, man.
I love it when I stump you, man.
You didn't stump me. I'm just disappointed.
What do you mean? I totally
it's just
stumped
disappointing.
You.
It's just disappointing.
Call me stumpy.
You're better than Max. Okay?
I am better than Max.
So
I clip that. Clip it. Clip it.
Arizona Board of Regents, thank you for doing your job.
Thank you for doing
improving
the Lord's work.
Those things. Yes. Arizona State fans, lucky to have both Graham Rossini and Molly Miller moving forward. Glenn in the chat says, maybe there's something to be said for people from ASU and Arizona. Weird how we're getting coaches like that, but the recruits didn't get the memo yet.
They'll get it. They'll get it. They'll get it.
Again, winning, you have to prove that you are a consistent winner. And I think it is much harder to recruit locally than it is anywhere else, not just for ASU, but for everybody. Because think about, at least for me, when I was finishing up high school, I was
were getting recruited.
Not getting recruited, but like just like the college experience. Yeah. Right. It's like, okay, I want to go somewhere else. I want to go see something new. I want to be somewhere.
I would have gone somewhere else if we didn't have such a great journalism program here.
Yeah.
And maybe it's like, hey, man, I want to go somewhere else, but man, that football program, they're good.
Yeah. Out of state tuition sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Overall, just tuition.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Do we want to cap it at that? Do we want to be done with serious discussions?
We need to make sure that we have plenty of room for captain.
Okay, that's a wrap on all the serious stuff that we're going to talk about today.
No, this is serious.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. It is really serious.
This is probably the most serious
Captain,
thing
I'm going to request that your camera be on for the remainder of today's show. Just so everybody can see that red beard for the next however long.
Hit the music again.
Live. Just run it the entire 14 minutes that we're going. Yeah, there it is.
It's pretty epic.
It's pretty epic music. It's great. We're going to do Hot or Not a little bit differently today.
Okay.
You and I are going to be giving captain topics. We're all going to still answer.
Yeah.
But we are going to be the ones to give Captain Redbeard 3 topics today instead of vice versa. I hope everybody in the chat sticks around for the entirety of today's show. Say your goodbyes to Captain Redbeard. He is abandoning us on his trip across the country.
Brutal.
To Alaska. So it's tough. Will asking where the rum is.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
It was on you to bring the rum, Captain.
Oh.
We're supposed to reward you for leaving us?
For abandoning us.
Hot or not? Abandonment.
Yeah. Do you want to kick things off?
Super not hot.
Super not hot.
Yeah. I agree. Abandonment, not hot. Let's talk after this. Maybe we need to get our therapist back in here. All right. Hot or not? I have not thought of anything, by the way. This is just all
off the dome.
All completely off the dome. Hot or not? Oh, man, this is bad. You go.
It's tough.
I'm blanking.
Hot or not? Bird baths.
Maybe captain should be the one to take hot or not.
We're going random topics here.
I have nothing against them. Like, I'm not anti a bird bath.
You're not anti?
I don't know if I've ever really seen like a bird bath in person.
Really?
Like, tell me the last time you saw a bird bath.
You've never seen
I don't know if top of
I probably have, but like, when's the last time you have?
I don't know. They're not like memorable moments that like I'm like, yes, March 24th. It's the last time I saw a bird bath. No.
I mean,
it's just like, a bird bath.
I see. I've never even been like, oh yeah, a bird bath.
You've never seen a bird bath?
Maybe I have, but I don't remember.
Wow. And you're saying they're hot?
Sure.
Even though they don't
They're mysterious.
I don't know about that. What do you think, Captain Redbeard? Bird baths.
Next topic.
No, you gotta give her hot or not. No.
They're not memorable. It's like
so not hot.
So not hot.
So you're anti bird bath.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you were a bird,
See,
It would
Glenn
be hot
says
if I was a bird.
Glenn said that's actually pretty good. I'm going with hot. Who hates birds frolicking in the water?
Yeah, see?
Captain does.
Yeah, apparently you're anti-birds having fun,
You heard it here.
Captain.
Bird hater.
Bird hater.
Charles saying bird bass, cool the birds.
Okay,
so
well,
not hot by definition.
Let's stick with birds. Bird watching. Hot or
not
not?
hot. Not hot.
I've never done it.
I think that is the.
You might have to.
I'm going to offend some
Yeah.
people. I think that is the stupidest hobby
Wow.
that you could have. Watching birds.
Wow.
Watching birds.
Wow.
That's what we're doing.
Wow.
You know how many different things you could be doing,
Yes.
and you chose to go outside
I mean,
and
I'm
watch
not here
birds.
to slander the bird watching community.
I am. It's a silly.
Stand on
It's
it.
a silly hobby.
Stand on it.
Get a different one.
Okay.
Not hot. Bird watching. Not hot.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally not hot. I'll put my binoculars on. Captain.
I'm gonna go hot.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's go look at some birds.
Propaganda stops
Appreciate-
here.
Why?
Let's appreciate birds.
Yeah, but we don't need to go watch them.
Dude, there's a lot
What,
of
you
birds.
think birds have like a human watching hobby? You think that's something they do?
Probably, honestly.
Maybe.
What do you think they're doing up there?
Yeah.
They're minding their business.
Are
dude.
birds real?
We've already discussed this on this program.
Well,
Are birds real?
are birds real? Hot or not?
Some of them.
Conspiracy theories, hot or not?
We're just rapid firing, hot or not, huh?
What do you want from me? You want to talk more about bird watching?
No, I don't. Conspiracies.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say hot.
Conspiracy theories.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Oh,
I don't know. The one recently is about pyramids. So
Mm.
you see all that pyramid news?
No,
Really?
It's
news?
not crossed my desk.
Is it new?
The pill.
You see the pyramid news, man?
The suns suck, man.
Nobody, Egyptians 4,000 years ago. You see the,
The
pyramid
Suns
news?
suck. How have you not seen what's going
Have
on
you-
with the
yeah,
pyramid?
come
I
on,
fill my
man.
time with pyramid news.
What's
The
going
pillars?
on, Captain?
What's going on?
Fill us in.
They had
You-
like the satellite images from space that came out like a month ago.
Oh, did we find
Of
out
the
this?
pyramids?
Yeah, like they revealed like there's pillars underneath them,
How?
like very long pillars.
Revealed? Like this is fact?
Yeah, like using LiDAR technology.
I feel like I would have seen
Pyramid
this. And then again, I don't watch news.
pillars. I'm going to turn my Google alerts on for pyramids.
First thing that pops up is the Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Researchers say
Gets
they
into
use
conspiracies.
SAR to find vast city beneath the
There's a
pyramids.
city beneath the pyramids. That's more than just
Vertical cylinder-shaped structures referred to as shafts. You hear the shaft news of the Pyramid Man?
I
Italian
guess
and
it was just
Scottish
me.
researchers claim they found a major discovery beneath the pyramids of Giza,
the Egyptian
potentially
shafts.
rewriting the history of ancient Egypt using radar. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm done. All right. No, I have not heard this
It's
news.
fascinating.
Well, now you have.
Now I have.
It
Yeah.
is fascinating if it's true. 100%.
Well, it's the images are true.
The images, I didn't did you pull up the images?
Oh my god, I just exited out.
I mean, we're talking about the pyramids here, man. How can you just escape it
Images.
like that?
They're all like just graphic renderings of it.
Oh my god.
This is a PHNX Puffs topic for sure.
What's going on with the pyramids?
Yeah, hey man, what's going on with the pyramids? Are pyramids?
Do you have a favorite conspiracy theory?
I mean, I always love like the sports conspiracy theories of like the rigged games and stuff like that.
Mm.
Like Patrick Ewing, the lottery was rigged. The LeBron James lottery was rigged.
Was rigged for the Cavs?
Yeah, hometown guy, LeBron James.
I feel like the NBA wouldn't do that.
The NBA's rigged against the Phoenix Suns. That's my favorite conspiracy theory.
Is that it's rigged against the
rigged
Suns?
against the Suns.
Is that what happened this year?
No, we just suck.
Mm.
Yusuf Nurkic had 26 points and 9 rebounds on the night that we got eliminated from the play-in. What the hell? What the hell?
For the Charlotte Hornets.
That's gross.
That's pretty disgusting.
Got
Bummer.
another one?
Another conspiracy
Because
theory?
either conspiracy theory or another hot or not topic.
Well, I feel like at this point we should go into our favorite Captain Redbeard memories.
Hot or not, Captain Redbeard.
That's a great question.
Wow.
Not.
I think I would say Captain Redbeard hot from a physical standpoint only.
Yeah,
Wow.
everything about him sucks.
Dang.
On a surface level,
Yeah.
hot.
Just, yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do you wanna list off some favorite captain moments? Do we want to just like spew our heart out about what he's meant to the show?
I mean, my favorite Captain Redbeard moment, for sure.
I mean, there's an easy number 1 draft pick.
For sure, is waking up at whatever time we had to. Waking
An
up,
hour later than we should
waking
have.
up, yeah, like a half hour to 40 minutes later than we actually should have. Already like left for the airport, still drunk, trying to get everything in the bag, trying to call an Uber, trying to do all the things. And Captain is on what was supposed to be a pull-out couch.
Yes.
Which was not a pull-out couch.
Definitely not.
By any means. And we wake him up and we're talking to him or something. And I think he's just like, Erik, shut up.
No, he goes, hey, Erik. You know, he's like, you really annoy me sometimes. He's like, you worry too much.
I think it was you that was like, are you still like are you hungover?
No, I was like, are you like, he's like, I'm fine. I'm getting up. I'm like, no, dude, like you need to get up like now. Like the Uber's going to be here in like 10 minutes. You need to get up now. My favorite moment is right after that, him telling me that I worry too much and then him going, oh crap, where's my phone?
Yeah. Which we later found out was in the back of an Uber from the night before. We were both still very much under the influence.
Definitely.
At that point in the morning.
Favorite Captain Redbeard moment that didn't come with disparaging me.
Wow.
The start of that.
I hate Erik.
At the start of the Big 12 championship show.
Yeah.
When we were just going back and
all
forth.
So drunk on the Big 12 championship
Captain was
show.
pouring heavy.
You were
drink.
pouring heavy.
Yeah.
I was being nice. I poured everybody small shots.
I didn't even touch the bottle.
We won a championship, man.
We finished the damn bottle, man.
We won a championship.
I think, for me, I remember obviously like some of the earliest memories of Captain Redbeard when he was an intern here, which is like just so funny to think about. But he just like did not say a damn word to any of us. He just sat his booty down on those chairs over there and was just ripping shorts, which is like very fitting. And then like the first time that like I ever really talked to him is I drove him back from a live event from Gila, and we were just chatting. And I remember just being like, dude, if I had the power to hire you, because like his internship was ending, it was like the last thing he did. I was like, bro, I would hire you. I'm like, I would love to have you at PHNX full time.
And
look at us now.
Look at us
now.
Captain, what's your favorite memory
of myself?
Of being
PHNX
here?
Or PHNX Sun Devils.
Captain. Tell me your favorite memory of your life.
Oh boy. I don't know. I really liked being on the field for games.
Yeah.
That's been my favorite part about sports, is being at the event. There's just something about it.
The BYU game?
BYU game, that was awesome. Utah game, awesome. 24-hour stream, that was fun.
That happened. That definitely happened.
That I've deleted that from my memory, by the way. That was a lot. That was a lot going on.
Captain was a champion during the 24-hour stream.
He was. He was absolutely a champion during that 24 hours.
I think, it's got to be that weekend in Dallas.
Yeah.
Like, that was just, it felt like we did so much in like 2 days.
Yeah.
It was insane. Like,
we had a lot of fun in those 2 days.
I remember walking trying to get some alcohol, but there was just no liquor stores open nearby.
Yeah, we were walking around. God, that breakfast that we had. I guess my breakfast.
Yeah,
was
your
better.
breakfast. Did we get the same thing?
Yeah, we had a bad order.
Yours are like, I should have got yours.
Oh, for sure.
Gosh, it was so.
I'll get this out of the way. If you're watching on TV, the party always continues over at gophnx.com.
I like chat, William.
You like more Erik, Ruby, or chat? I like how there's a comma. Erik, comma, Ruby, comma, or chat. Question mark.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it
sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. It absolutely does.
But
suck.
at least he was here. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
Look, I love Captain. We have had I've had a lot of producers on this show.
Amen to that, brother.
I've
been a producer.
Literally, you've been a producer. Damon's been a producer. Shane's been a producer.
Shane,
Leah,
Danielle.
Sean, Danielle, Emma. Like, there have been so many producers that have been on the show, and they all bring like their own element, I think, to PHNX Sun Devils. But there is yet to be one like Captain that just he's an absolute animal.
Just a tank.
He's an absolute animal when it comes to content, when it comes to, trying to get us to be more creative at times when we fall into certain ruts.
Keeping us in our places.
Keeping us in place. And he's phenomenal at what he does. And there was never, not a single time that I hear Captain Redbeard complain about
that's my job
of work. Yeah, that's your job. About the amount of stuff, the amount of work that we would throw on his plate. And, for his first real experience in sports, to come during such a crazy year for Arizona State, right? With all the vlogs that he did, to Dallas for the Big 12 championship, to, running the stream here, or running the stream at Gila while we were doing the Peach Bowl stuff. Like
running the stream, being on the stream. And also at the same time, like, people don't know this, but, and I guess I say this a couple times now, so like long-time listeners know this. Producers here do a lot, and it's more than just your show. So while Captain was giving his everything to this show, he was also producing and editing and doing all sorts of other stuff for PHNX. Like, this is a devastating loss to PHNX Sun Devils for sure. Yeah. It's a devastating loss to PHNX as a whole. This is not just like the Sun Devil wing, and it's not just because he's good at his job, right? But also like as a person too. Yeah. Like, everybody here loves chatting with Kyle, and especially as, oh my God, I call him Kyle. And especially as like as he had become more comfortable here past like the internship and talking more, it's like, damn, this dude's just hilarious. Yeah. Like, man, this guy's funny, and so it's like, he was always willing to help. He was always willing to talk and laugh and go get a lift in. And
eat some cold chili mac.
Yeah. But, and as much as it sucks, like, that we're going to lose him, because I mean, this show saw a lot of success during that football season. Yeah. And it is in no small part to his commitment to this show and his commitment to working hard and upping his game every day. But at the same time, like, as much as it sucks, like, he was meant to do more than just sit behind a desk. Yeah. Right. And we've heard my dad just saying, I'm like saying something heartfelt.
Walk the plank.
My dad's going, walk the plank.
We need a plank.
We do need a plank. That should have been a segment.
Walk the plank.
Yeah. Anyway,
awesome.
missed opportunity
at all times.
But like, hearing the stories of like what he did before here and like all the adventures he's been on, it's like he to me is somebody who's like just born to be on an adventure. And so I'm glad that he's not like leaving us to go sit at like a desk somewhere. Oh yeah. He's leaving us to go give people free food and drive to Alaska and hit national parks along the way.
That's the most Captain Redbeard thing
with his professional chef friend.
Literally
like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It's something that, like, I'm like, I can picture 15 years from now or whatever, Captain talking to friends, kids, whatever, and him going through all the different stuff that he's done in his life, and this just being, a little blip in all of it. But it's been a hell of a blip, man. An absolute just killer time. Driving you to practice from time to time.
Driving you to Camp T.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Taking you home after some of those games, and we would chat.
Eating
all
an
sorts
entire
of stuff.
pizza after you didn't eat anything all day.
Yeah.
Drinking 1 million cups of coffee, 1 million cans of sugar-free or 0-calorie soda. Yeah.
It won't be the same.
It won't be.
And to commemorate, I got a couple things. Totri and I collaborated.
Oh, wow.
2 things. So there is one graphic.
There is one
that stands out among the rest. And when I asked him to pull up this graphic yesterday, he messaged in Slack, I'm going to need to get that framed. And I thought to myself, buddy, you're too late.
Already got
I have framed the Sam Levitt first half and second half graphic so that you can always carry this graphic
That
along
graphic's
with you.
going
Wow.
with you forever.
That's
and then
beautiful.
Totri was like, we need to get him like an actual like picture too. We can't just frame a graphic. And I said, that's a great idea, Totri. So he took this picture in front of the field at the Big 12 championship game. And so now you can be like the Wolverine meme and sit on your bed in your trailer and just point at this. And man, we
I'll
look
have to
different.
recreate that
So
Yeah.
meme.
two pictures for Captain. And that might wrap it up.
Yeah, Captain, do you have any final words to the chat, to anybody listening? And this one is on you to take us home with the follows and everything. That's all. It's all on
This
Captain.
outro's on Captain.
His
Tell them where they can
outro's
follow
on.
you
Riding the
beyond
ship
this
out.
too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you two. Both extremely good at your job. You know, I've learned so much. We've been an incredible team. I do feel like we covered that run better than anyone else. And I can proudly say that looking back. Yeah, I mean, you guys are more than workers. You're friends, you know, and you'll always be friends. Everyone here at PHNX, and that's what makes PHNX special. Like when I first saw PHNX, I was like, wow, you know, they're talking sports, they're saying what's on their heart and mind about the teams, but you can tell everyone's friends and family. And I'm like, that's cool. Like companies don't seem to have that anymore. And PHNX is one of those companies that still does that. And to the chat, to all the fans that I've met as well, you guys are awesome. Keep supporting the show. You have a hell of a football team, a hell of a, AD and Rossini. And, I think ASU is only on the rise. So it's only going to get better from here. And yeah, now I need to go walk the plank.
Go eat a banh mi and walk off the plank.
You can follow all of us. You can follow Erik Ruby at Erik with the K, at Erik Ruby, and you can follow Totri at Anthony_Totri. You can follow myself at KCoop Sports, and you can follow the show at PH_Sun Devils. Is that right?
Yeah.
PHNX,
And tell them where they can follow you
_Sun Devils.
going forward, as your content creation is not stopping, but just change it.
You can follow our channel right now. It's called at Chef John AK. That's Chef JOHNAK, standing for Alaska. And yeah, go Devils and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.